Hello, I'm Tara Love Perry, and thank you for joining me again. Today, I've already talked about unicorns, and I'm on a roll, so I'm also going to talk about something else now, a little bit more. It affects our purpose. It's kind of on topic with our higher purpose and being validated and believed in, but I'm going to take it deeper. I'm going to take it to a more serious note. So I want to speak now to all of those people who sometimes, or even often, don't want to be here, don't want to be on this planet anymore, don't want to be in this body anymore. Hands up who feels like, just take me home. Sometimes I get to that place where I've just had enough and you go, I don't belong on this earth anymore. I don't fit in. This isn't the right environment for me. I don't know what I'm doing here. There's not enough love. There's not enough harmony, unity, peace, forgiveness, understanding, compassion on this planet for me. It's all too much. And it can also come from a place of, let's say, lack of self-worth. I don't know what my value is. I don't know what my contribution is. I don't know who I am. What's the point? Where's my meaning? What's real? Losing track of connection, losing track of what's true. And so in talking to you guys, I'm also going to be talking to people who are suffering from a mental illness, a trauma, who've been traumatized. And I'm just going to say that is most human beings. We live in a world of duality. It's traumatic bridging the space between spirit and physical incarnate body, and understanding that our minds can't conceive it. We have a gap. We have a big kind of crater of misunderstanding or lack of understanding or lack of knowledge or something. Not lack of knowledge, but let's just say a gap. In reality, there's no lack, but we can feel there to be a gap. I'm going to talk about the crack in our psyche, that split in duality, that split, that sense of separation from our source, from our creator. And so what has that got to do with our purpose and our sense of self-worth? Well, it's got tons. And I can talk about this because, one, I've been there. Not just once, I've been there a number of times, and I'm really kind of getting the hang of it now, I have to say. Getting the hang of it, like mending it, healing it. So I want to share with you how to do that. Not just from my own personal experience, but also how I see that in other people's lives. As a soul reader, as a healer, a channel, a consultant, therapist, whatever you want to say, I've seen probably thousands of people. And virtually everybody has this same feeling one way or another, where at some point things get shaken, things get rattled, life stops being so harmonious and in flow. And sometimes we have those times where we feel like, I just can't deal with it anymore. I need a way out. What's the way out? There has to be a way out. Or I can't find my way out. I'm done with this. I don't understand the merry-go-round of life. I don't understand it. I can't seem to win. Get me out of here. Get me the hell out. Take me home where I belong, because I obviously don't belong here. It's not working for me. I can't figure it out. I see a vast amount of people going through this similar thing, and each in our own unique way. And I also feel qualified to talk about this because I have a brother who suffers from mental illness, and I've been really sort of feeling into this recently, really feeling into that, what it means for me. So I'm going to share that with you. And I'm firstly going to start by talking about my own personal experience in the last few days. So I was at an event, it was wonderful, it was sunny, and then I became ill. I just got some tummy bug. Just some little thing, it can be a trigger. And this tummy bug, it made me feel really weak, really, really vulnerable, and really exhausted. And in that exhaustion, my issues of self-worth started to come up, and I start thinking about, gosh, what's my contribution in the world? Do I do enough? What have I really got to contribute anyway? I'm just Tara, I'm just this little person, a speck of dust on a massive planet. What difference can I make? Do I matter? All of this kind of stuff, which normally on my normal everyday to day, I roll with, I don't have a problem with. But because I was in this vulnerable place, because my energy was so low, it opens up that space, doesn't it? You know, that weakness can come through when my energy's low, when your energies are low. And especially in a place of fever, which I have been. So in that fever, it can take you into delirium, can take you into some funny places in your psyche. And it took me into this place, and it's a place that I've been to before. I don't want to be here, is where it was taking me. My mind was leading me down this track of, like, Tara, there is no way out. Everybody is really, really messed up. And as a soul reader, and since a child, I've seen this. I see all people's stuff, all the conditioning, all the stuff that's not really them, but that we carry around, acting out as our personality, all the stuff that blocks us. I've been seeing this since I was a kid. And, you know, it can be overwhelming sometimes. And I'm sure you see that too. Without being a soul reader, you can just see with your own eyes. There's a lot of trauma on this planet. There's a lot of people suffering, a lot of people going through it, and you think, wow, where's sane? Where's safe? Where is there some love, some stability, something I can count on, something that's real? You know, a substantial, unchangeable, unconditional strength, a force. And for me, this force was always love. That's the one that I identify with as being the constant, the unconditional, the always there, the always present was love. And I have wanted love on this planet, more love on this planet since I was a child. My dad was even telling me recently, you know, he remembers me 4 years old, saying to him, I'm not supposed to be here, I've come to the wrong place. You know, I used to stand on high things, even into my early 20s, and go, whoever put me here, take me back. I felt like it was a punishment being on this planet, because I didn't feel that there was enough love here. Where's the unconditional love? Yes, there's a lot of attempts at love, but where's the real stuff? The stuff where I feel really loved, really cared for, so much so or enough that I actually feel validated and assured of my own existence here. Like, my existence means something because I'm loved. That's my own personal relationship with it. It might not be love for you, it might be something else, but whatever validates you, whatever gives you your big meaning, your big why, it's worth being here. And without that, what's the point in being here, right? And I think all of us, because of the nature of life, because of the nature of duality, whatever our big why, our big meaning, sometimes there are spaces in our lives where we just feel like that's missing. You know, and being in this place over the weekend, I didn't feel cared for, I didn't feel loved, not by anybody. And I know that's not true. I know I'm really loved. But that was my weak area. You know, that's the hole I fall down when I'm not in a good space. Like I said, it's been there since I was a child. It's not a new thing. And it's not a nice place to be in. And I start to think, okay, so then I fear for my children's future. And I'm starting to think, so what's the way out? Is the way out to die? Is the way out to take my life? I'm not a suicidal person. You know, I don't physically want to do that ever. I love myself, I love my life, I love my children far too much to do that. However, my mind can tell me these things. My mind says, okay, what if you took some sleeping pills? What if you did something that just takes you out, and then I'm out of this world, I don't have to deal with it anymore, I can go home. And that's actually not even true either. Death is not a way out. Death is not an escape from this. And I know this why, because I see people in spirit, and I talk to spirits who have, you know, people who have passed over, who are in the spirit world, who have taken their lives. I meet them in people's energy fields. You know, if you have a relative or a friend or someone close to you that took themselves out, that couldn't be here anymore because of their own trauma, they're still going to be in that, you know, chances are, let's not say definitely, I don't want to freak anybody out, but chances are their spirit is still in that stuck place where they were in life. They are going to also be in spirit. Just because you change state, just because you leave this physical matter, this body, doesn't mean that the stuff of your soul changes. You take that with you, even if it's not yet incarnate into another body, or even if the it has incarnated into another body, you've still got that memory in their spirit. You can still access that person's memory and see their, their trauma still captured in their spirit that they haven't yet resolved. And it only transforms, it only changes once it's been resolved. Until there's healing, until there's harmony, until there's understanding and real knowledge brought to this trauma, it's going to remain whether you're in this body or the next body or the next body. Do you understand that? Death is not a way out. It's just like walking from one room into the next room. I'm still me. I still carry everything of me with me into the next room. I don't leave part of myself in this room, except a memory, except a memory in an imprint in the memory field. And that's what happens with our lives. We die, or we apparently die. We leave this body, we move into a new body, a new room, a new experience, a new incarnation of something, a new form, and we still carry all the same stuff with us. We can't leave something behind, guys. You can't just, cut it off and let it go and drop it and forget it and bury it and die from it and think that you're gonna escape. You're not. That's not the escape. That, life, death, birth, life, death, birth is this eternal loop. And the only way out of this loop, in fact, I was asking Spirit, when I was in this place the other night, I know this isn't the reality. I know I know it's not as dire as my mind is telling me. I'm just tired and ill. And it's a chasm. There's a chasm there in my psyche. It's a crack in my psyche that I entered into. And I know that I'm not going to actually do that. So I do what I always do, which is I breathe, I reconnect, I go, I'm just disconnected right now. I'm suffering because I'm disconnected from source, I'm disconnected from spirit. Consciously speaking, you're not actually ever disconnected from source or spirit, but my consciousness had become like disengaged. I'd hung up the line, So I need to pick that line up again. I need to get back on the end of the lifeline and connection back to my source, come back to my creator. And I'm like, okay, what's the way out? How do I stop falling in this same loop? What is the way out of all this trauma and suffering? And this wanting to go home and leave. And Creator Source tells me, I am with you. I am here. And that love that I am is with you and is your reason for being and is the purpose of everything and is the reason you're even feeling this. Even the reason that I'm feeling that I'm not loved and I want to go home is because I exist and because I'm loved enough to be put into this physical vessel that can feel love. Do you understand what I'm saying? I mean, maybe that's just a bit too simple or a bit too profound or something, but creation created itself into a Tara shape and a Tara body so that Tara, me, I can have this experience of being loved enough into form. The existence itself is love. I can't escape being loved, but I can disconnect from it and become unconscious from it. And what I have to do is plug back in. I'm never not loved. There is never no meaning. But if I want to understand the point and the meaning and the value and the purpose of my existence, and I want to understand, unconditional love, I have to plug back in. I have to get on the end of that lifeline. I have to pick up that invitation, pick up that connection. And, that lifeline, source, truth, unconditional, real, unending, unerring, always present everywhere, is manifested, is given to me through having this body and having this breath. So instant reconnection. I'm in my body and I'm breathing. Resuscitation. Here I am, resuscitate. Tara Perry, get out of your mind. Come back from that fear. And remember, resuscitate the truth. Breathe. Receive. Pick up the lifeline. It's being given. Receive it. I got it. I'm here. I'm reconnecting. So simple and so beautiful and so perfect. And in that moment, what I didn't do was go, okay, let me climb back out of the crack. Let's ignore that place until I fall in it again next time, because it's still open, because I've left it open so many times. I've visited it again and again. There's a part of my psyche that I know. Instead of doing that, it was like this time I was like, well, do I love myself enough to start filling in the cracks? Do I want to leave a big crack in my psyche that I can fall into? That downward spiral, that downward pit of, scary place. And I decided I didn't. I decided I love myself enough to kind of get the polyfiller of love out. Just squeeze that love into the crack, into that place where I just going, what, should I take some pills? That's a horrible thing. I would never actually do that, but that horrible place where I go, I want to go home, get me out of here. Where's the way out? I've had enough. There is no escape. I don't want my children to live in this world. Oh my God, what kind of a human being am I? What kind of a mother am I? What have I got to contribute? Let's squeeze in some self-love into there. I am being loved, but it's up to me to pick it up and go, okay, yeah, me too. I'll join in with this. I'm going to love myself too. Since I am being loved, since I am love itself, let me consciously, pick up that line and join in and start squeezing in. I love you, me. Deep in this pit, in this crack, the part of me that wants to get out and quick and go home, I love you. I love you. I am the unconditional love you're looking for. Oh, I just forgot that for a little while. I'm the unconditional love. I'm the thing that I'm wanting to find in the world. It's me. That which I search for is in me. That which I most long for is in me. I have to reconnect and come back. So I want more love in this world. I got to put more love in my world. My love, my inner world of Tara. I've got to be the one. So I'm not just talking about myself here, you get that, right? I'm using myself as an example because this is your life. Where are the cracks in your psyche? Where are the cracks in your heart? Where are the cracks in your life, in your reality that you fall down? Where you hurt yourself, where you feel bad, where you feel worthless, where you feel like you've got no purpose, or you, for a moment, you just go blank and you forget it and life suddenly has no meaning, that falling down the crack feeling. Get out your squeezy tube, your polyfiller of self-love, and go into the crack. Don't avoid it, because you're not going to get out of it. It's not going to go away. But you can fill the crack. Fill the space with love. Go to the bottom of it, and while you're there, breathe. Have that instantaneous inkling of a reminder. Oh my God, I'm loved. Look, breath is coming into my mouth and down into my body and making me be here right now. Love is the truth of who I am. There is purpose, there is value, there is meaning to your existence. That's why you're here. That is why you are here, my friend. And if you don't get it, if you're not conscious of that, here is the place. Here is how you get conscious. You say, I love you to those places. Because I love you is going to awaken consciousness. I love you restores all damage. Trust me, it does. Just try it. I love you, me. I love you, cracked up me. Okay, and there's not enough time in this video to go into talking about mental health, so I'm going to make another one about mental health and that separation from source, the trauma, the original trauma, the massive, what can be a massive crack in the psyche, and give us real problems and real issues. I'm going to just do another video about that. But I hope that helps. I hope you understand. There's no way out. There's just a way in. Heal the cracks. Love yourself. And through self-love, we can evolve. That crack will no longer be there. And then you can lift, you can aspire, you can arise to other things. And not have to keep repeating the same track again and again and again until you get it. You can't avoid it. Fall in it, restore it, heal it with love, and then give yourself a new playing field. Give yourself a new level to your life. So, I hope that makes sense. Food for your soul, my darlings, beautiful souls, my other me's. I love you. Take care. I'll speak to you soon.